Okay, the Democratic Socialist that's running for New York City Mayor, Zohran Mamdani. He attended the funeral of the NYPD hero, Didarul Islam, yesterday after he was murdered while protecting office workers in Manhattan. This after he was forced to confront his stance on defunding the police.
And the vision that we've put forward in this campaign, despite what others may say, is not to defund the police. It is, in fact, to allow those officers to respond to these serious crimes that many of them signed up to address.
Fox News contributor Hugh Hewitt is here with us now. Hugh, I want to read this political headline for you because I think this really gets at the heart of what is going on here. The headline is, "He once mocked a crying cop. Now he may run the nation's largest police force." And I got to believe that there were some cops out there yesterday at this funeral that were thinking about this and looking at him and wondering, what's up with the 180? We can show you all the tweets. We can make a list and repeat it over and over again. But the question is, are New Yorkers going to buy what he's saying now?
Morning, Aisha. Hi, Bill. I hope not, because when I read that story, I actually went back and looked up the dates of the tweets and what the corresponding timeline in his career was. On December 7th, 2020, he posted, "Defund it, dismantle it, end the cycle of violence." That's remarkably radical, and it's pretty stupid as well, because it connects the cycle of violence to the police who stop violence. He posted it on December 7th, 2020. He wasn't in high school. He wasn't in college. He had, in fact, been elected to the New York State Legislature when he posted, "Defund it, dismantle it, end the cycle of violence." So I know what he's trying to do right now. He said, in this campaign, I'm not going to say what I said after I had won office before. I hope New Yorkers are aware. I hope we repeat it again and again. Defund it, dismantle it, end the cycle of violence, because he is very radical. He is unredeemed. I think President Trump is correct. He will destroy the city of New York if he is the elected mayor. And New Yorkers have got to be aware it can get a lot worse than it already is with Mr. Mamdani if he becomes mayor.
All right, here's the only Republican candidate in the field, Curtis Sliwa, on that topic.
He certainly took advantage coming back from Uganda to suddenly rediscover that, everything I said during the summer of George Floyd, that was youthful indiscretion. He believes that today as he believed it then. This is typical political spin. It's like putting the wolf in the chicken coop. He hates cops. He's always hated cops. But now he's guarded by the NYPD and driven around in an SUV. What a sanctimonious hypocrite he is.
Okay, so we're going to see how this goes. They got 2.5 months. A lot of people think Mamdani's a clear winner, but you don't know. I mean, and that's why people vote. Meanwhile, Mamdani has this comment about Israel that goes back 2 years. This is December of 2023. I want you to listen to how he characterizes Israel as a country or not.
Israel is not a place. It is not a country. It's an idea. And you see that in so many politicians' answers to the questions around Israel, is their answers were written 20, 30 years ago. They speak to a reality that does not exist.
I don't know how that's going to fly in a city like New York. Do you?
I don't think it flies, Bill. It is not an idea. It is our strategic ally, the equal of any of our strategic allies. It cooperated with the United States to destroy the rogue Iranian nuclear regime. It destroyed Hezbollah. Israel was recognized by the United Nations in 1948. The United States immediately recognized it. So again, he's radical and stupid. I don't know if he knows the history of the Middle East. No one's ever actually had him in a difficult conversation about Ottoman Empire, British Mandate, the State of Israel in 1948, reestablishing the ancient State of Israel. So it's both stupid and radical. I can't imagine any supporter of Israel, much less Jews, voting for Mr. Mamdani. But there are 4 candidates. I know Curtis. He's an old colleague of mine from radio days. Either he or Eric Adams or Andrew Cuomo, 2 of those 3 have to drop out in the best interest of the city of New York and the best interest of the United States.
But it might not matter. I mean, Hugh, all the polling now shows that even if they all drop out, you know, or one stays in and the rest of them drop out, he wins.
Well, we'll see.
Right now.
Yeah.
It's early, though.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hugh, good to see you.
Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you both.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.